Alright guys, the pump sort of chucked up in the vise. Luckily I've got these little star drive sockets. I hope they are good enough to get this thing loose. Grab the breaker bar. Ah, goodness, they are tight. Grab just a little extra extension to keep my hand up out of the way. Six of these. See the fluid weeping. Look at a pan. I just had this pan laying around. I have no idea what it is. Like an old turkey basin pan or something. There we go. Smurf piss everywhere. Alright, clean my mess, get back up. Alright, let's pour apart and see what we got. Awesome. And of course, the key with anything hydraulic is to keep everything good and clean. I'm not even going to mess with that seal right now. It slid off shockingly easy. Down. pistons. I'm going to pull these side caps to get that apart. Alright, 3/8. I did make sure I power washed the crap out of this pump before I took it apart, because it was just, I can't believe how much road grime was built up on this thing. It's actually slinging some stuff, so I'm going to cover my parts right there. I don't want to sling dirt on them. And some of you guys may think I'm being anal about cleanliness here, but it does not hurt to be extra clean with hydraulics. Pry bar. O-ring seal. To this side. I'll give you a view of what I got here. So all the pump plungers have fallen out, or they're stuck down in this yoke. This big piston here acts down here on this part of the yoke, and that controls the pump displacement. So I need to get these little bearings here off, so I'm going to work on that and see if I can get this thing apart. Okay guys, I was able to get this racing bearing came completely out of this side over here. This one I've been able to get most of the way out, but if it'll stay, yep, good enough. It'll let me get this pump apart now. Alright, there are some little needles. Slick. There we go. And that was just an oily suction that had this thing held on. So there it is. Broken shaft, bearing. These races will come out. They're just no need to get that one out. It can sit there really. I'll go dump the rest of the fluid that's sitting in here. Alright, so here's the new shaft. I got it from a company called Panagon Systems. Also got a new front bearing for it, just in case this one had any issues. This one actually looks really good. Probably just going to clean it, slap it on, and press it in place. Alright, got it flipped over. Gotta get this seal out of here because it was definitely leaking around the front of the shaft. So, yowzers! Old snap ring pliers seen better days. Get that snap ring out. I gotta find something to put on the face of this to hammer this out. Alright, let's see if we can tap this fucker back in. Alright, that looks good. We got our snap ring back in place, get it cleaned up. These are probably the cheapest, crappiest set of snap ring pliers you could buy. Without a doubt. But they get the job done. Alright, now let's see if this blind squirrel can find a nut and get this pump back together. That seal is a lot tighter. Now the spring assembly goes back down in. That's what drives the swash plate. Let's see, I need to spin this thing 180 degrees to get my bearings back. Not the bearings, my head bearings in my head. Make sure this is how I took it apart. Getting all these little guys back in place is going to be the fun part. And by fun, I mean a nightmare. I'm going to have to figure out that part. I'll be back. Okay, so I pulled up a manual offline. I did go ahead and pull all the pistons and plungers out. It was just suction. The oil had it suctioned down. That's how fine a tolerances everything is. It just suctions itself down real easily. So it does say that since I put a new bearing in, I've got to preload this assembly here. And I'm going to do that right now. It says basically to start out with a 10,000 shim and install this cover. I can't remember how this pump was even mounted on the truck, to tell you the truth. That might be bad, but it'd be nice to where I install it to where it's facing the right direction, which I think will be that way. That's my assumption. Can't remember which direction the lettering was. Make sure my O-ring is seated. And then these will torque to 100. 175 to 185 inch-pounds. And it wants to be aggravating. There we go. Gotta get them all started. Duh. everything is slick. And then basically it is saying we should turn it up, try to rotate it to get any slop out. Let me get these things torqued. Let me get my little torque wrench and torque these real quick. Alright, so we're shooting for 9 thousandths of preload. This is proud of this surface here. This spacer sits above this surface. I don't have a depth mic, but I do have feeler gauges and a machinist straight edge. So I'm just feeling my way into this. So start with 12. 12 goes under no problem. It's a little tight right there. Still goes under. So we'll go 13. 13 doesn't want to go under, it goes under in the back. Tight there. And we're trying to average the measurements here is what they're instructing us to do. We'll go with 14, see how it does. 14 won't, it'll go in the back. Won't go there. Just goes in the back on that one. Real tight right there. Just goes in the back. So 14 goes. Let's see if we got a 15 in here. Alright, we'll jump up to 16 then. I'm pretty sure it's not going to go. Yep. Alright, so 16 won't go. 14, I'm going to call the average 14. It goes under in the back, not in the front. So to get 9, we want about a 5,000 shim on this side. I'm not sure what the green ones are. We'll check them. I do have a caliper. So the green one looks like about 3,000. Blue ones are 5. So that's what I want. I want a blue one. New O-ring. Blue shim. And a new plate. Now the preload should be correct. Let's move over here. Hole's a little dirty. Probably not going to get exact torque on that one, but it'll be close enough. Alrighty, I think that's definitely tighter than they were when I pulled them apart. So now to get the rotating group back together. Alright, I'm going to assemble this thing just like this. Because there are a couple, there's 3 pins that go in there that sit in the spherical bearing. I did put just a little bit of Vaseline on them to help hold them in place. And didn't want to lay them on their sides at all. Make sure they didn't fall out. And let's see, a little light here. Down in there, make sure everything looks good. Because if you get one of those down on that swash plate, it would be a bad deal. Alrighty, I think we're in good shape now. So really the last thing to do is put the end bearing in, and which would be number 32. There's a little spacer in there I need to double check on to see exactly how that thing goes in. It's got a little bit of a ridge on it. That does include a new gasket, which is pretty deformed from the shipping. Pop that on. It's got an a raised embossed seal on it. Pop the old one off. And that's what I was afraid of. Sorry, we'll turn the pump on its side. We won't have to worry about that. Let's see, so that thing goes on just like this. Get the dowel holes lined up.
Alright, don't let me hit you with the damn thing. I'm coming up with it.
I'm up with it. Hold it. Go easy.
You know what you need.
Alright, lift her up. Hold up right there. Get my knee under it. Get my bolts in. A lot of holes. Alright, get everything started.
You go ahead and tighten down while I'm holding it.
Yep.
Doing that straight.
That's the idea.
You got room to get under the old thing.
Yep.
How's it going?
You finally get over that.
Alright, got the drive shaft installed. We wrap this little key with wire. Make sure it doesn't come out. Little set screw. I'll wrap the front. And that'll be that. Nothing too major to it. And then we'll see if we can get her up and flying.